heater! I dare you to hit it!
He'll be sorry.
Want the heater? I'll give it to you.
Basketball, maybe they don't hit it.
A swing and a drive to deep right.
Clear the deck. Cannonball coming.
Left field. It is out of here.
What up? What's good? Baseball Unstitched. We are back with part 2 of our opening day special. Let's get right over to Jackson's Bullpen. Jackson, take it away.
All right, boys, welcome to Jackson's Bullpen again this week with the opening day right around the corner. Figured we talked about some of the opening day starters. I picked out 3 starters who I think have something to prove this season, coming in the season. First up, I got Jacob Misiorowski with Milwaukee.
I like that choice.
Opening day starter. I didn't know if it was going to be him or Woodruff to start the year where they're going with Miz. This is a year where they need an ace. For the past half decade, it's been Corbin Burns, Freddie Peralta. Neither of them are there anymore. They need an ace to prove. Misiorowski last year as a rookie, 4.36 ERA, over 14 starts. The stuff is unreal. We've all seen it. Made an all-star game. Going to be interested to see how he can go over the full season and if he can be that true ace for them.
I like that. Do you think they're going to give him like a full start? I know that sounds crazy, but as cautious as they were with him and some injury stuff that he had last year, do you think we're going to see like 75 pitches of Misiorowski, or do you think we're just going to see them, cut him loose?
Would not be surprised if we just saw the 75, 80 pitches, especially this early in the year. But I could also see him, shoving it through 4 and then going back in the dugout and saying it's my ball, and then going back out there for the 5th. That wouldn't surprise me at all either.
I'd love to see
Give
him
me that
do
version.
it. I'd love to see him do it. Guys, we're talking about a 6'7" mountain on the hill. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, 120, probably what it looks like to hitters with a 7.6 extension. This guy's literally letting the ball go basically at the plate and still throwing 100. That's ridiculous. We also all know that he has a slider that averages 94 miles an hour. Do with that information as you will. That's where I'm at.
Disgusting.
That's where I'm at.
Jack, would you have enjoyed getting to hit against that?
Yes, because I just would have bunted. Thank you.
Hold on. We all know you would have gotten.
He falls to the left, bro. He falls to the first base side. I got third base all day.
It's true. And they don't have Caleb Durbin at third base now.
It would either be that or you would know you were getting 3 fastballs at the top of the zone. That's what you've told us in the past. So you're going to hit one of them.
That's true.
Gotta
Just ready
hit
for
one
an
of
early
them.
fastball.
If he throws that 94-mile-an-hour slider, I'm going back to the dugout. So
You are not
if
the
he goes
only
to your
one.
heater, I like fastballs. I like the heat. Give it to me. But if he falls, if he keeps falling to third base, I'm taking that knock.
I love everything about that. Jackson, who else you got for us? You said you got 3.
Yeah, I got from Flax's Orioles, Trevor Rogers. This is a heat check prove it year. Heat check prove it year for me. 2024 struggled, 4.92 ERA over 25 starts. Last year came back from injury, and to put it bluntly, was one of the best pitchers in baseball finish of the year. 18 starts, 1.81 ERA, great chase numbers, struck out guys, limited walks well, has a good 4-5 pitch mix. The Orioles need him to be that guy this year. They need him to be that frontline ace if they want to be in the playoffs. I really like Rogers. I loved him when he was in Miami. Interested to see if he can live up to that hype this year. This is a guy who could very easily make a run at that AL Cy Young when he's on. Interested to see if he can do it.
Now, I am curious, Jack, your thoughts on this, because you famously told me that as a hitter, spring training doesn't matter. How do you feel about pitchers and what they do? So he threw 14 innings. I think the thing I care most about is that his walks were down. He didn't walk a lot of guys, threw a lot of strikes, was in the zone with a lot of his stuff. Does it not matter to you at all?
If you're established, they're just going through the motions until the last 1 or 2 starts. They're working on moving the ball. They're working on location. They're not going to let it eat. It's not a situation where their heartbeat is racing. He's established. He's been in the league for 3 or 4 years. He's with our agency, so I see him a lot in the off season. He's a very slow heartbeat guy as it is. That's why he's so good on the mound. But he's got amazing stuff, and he's just these guys are just working on making sure their pitch counts are right when it comes to opening day. So if you're a young pitcher and you're trying to make the rotation, it means a lot. It means everything. If you're a guy that's established and you're going to be one of their top 2 pitchers, you're just making sure you're healthy You're making sure your body's right. You're making sure your pitchers are moving the way they want to. And then the second you get into play ball, it's going to be electric. It's going to be a completely different.
Oh, go ahead, Ryan.
I think that one of the things that really impresses me about Trevor Rogers is there's a lot of adversity that he's been through over the last 3 or 4 years. And moving to a new organization, really being able to allow them to continue to work towards their goal of helping him get there, while also probably listening to some of his own feedback as well that might not have gotten listened to in the previous organization, I think has really breeded a great atmosphere for this guy. His 5-pitch mix is great, right? We've talking about a guy who, as a lefty, is able to throw his 4-seam fastball against right-handers 44% of the time, right? We all know that platoon splits say you probably want to throw most of the time when you only throw on an average 93, you probably don't want to have that high rate of fastballs against guys who already have a positive platoon advantage against you. Rogers, what I love, and he did it so well last year, is his ability to mix and his ability to be in the zone will continue to keep him competitive for as long as he can stay healthy. I think what we're going to see is he's going to find himself a really nice leveling ground as a number 2 and potentially a number 1 in a long-term situation.
What was the switch, I guess, that flipped for him the last couple of years? Was it
healthy? Just healthy.
Just health?
Just health.
Does that breed a lot more confidence? Does that just breed more confidence being in the zone, in your stuff, coming off the mound?
Yeah, I mean, it's just being, your body feels good, your mind feels good.
Yeah,
mind, and you're not worried about if there's something bothering you here and there, lower in the back, something in the shoulder, whatever. That's going to hinder you from giving everything you got on your release point. How hard you're going to spin the ball if you have that thing in the back of your head thinking, I can't crank this because I feel this right now. It's just it's a different fly of the ball. For him, he found healthy, and he was allowed to let his stuff go. And when his stuff goes, it's one of the best from the left side in the game.
It moves a lot.
Scud, is there a specific pitch that he threw last year that you're excited to see more of this year?
His changeup is just awesome. His changeup is one of the better ones in baseball. Has really good depth on it. Plays off the fastball well. And, I'm at ETSU. We're usually towards the top of the country in changeup rate every year. I love a good changeup. Fires me up.
I think he works it off the sinker really well. I think he's not a guy that's going to miss a ton of barrels with any of that stuff, but he gets an insane amount of ground balls.
46.4%.
I do worry about Kobe Mayo playing third base behind him as a lefty who gets a lot of rollover ground balls, but we'll let that happen. It'll be what it'll be.
Yeah. Jackson, number 3 on the list. Who's the guy?
The previous 2, I kind of went with heat check guys who had good years last year who are trying to prove the ace. This year, comeback pick, Zach Gallen. Zach Gallen, free agent year last year, struggled. 4.83 ERA, 33 starts. Went to the free agency, declined the qualifying offer, went to the open market, and basically got told that nobody really wanted him that much. Ended up signing back with the Diamondbacks for basically the qualifying offer just as a free agent deal for a 1-year deal to come back. Got dubbed to the opening day start after Merrill Kelly, I believe, was supposed to take the job, but then I think he's out for a couple weeks with got a nagging injury. So Gallen getting the nod. I mean, this is a guy when he's on, we've seen he can be one of the best pitchers in baseball. That curveball, the depth on it, unreal, nice little cut right fastball. Just didn't get it all together last year. Not sure if it was a health factor or what, but I mean, another prove year for him. This is a guy, if he has another good year this year, could earn a big deal this offseason.
Ryan and I broke it down because we were very, very, very curious about this. In 2025, second half of the year, he switched up his pitch usage a very, very large amount. Saw a very high increase in the changeup usage, high increase in the cutter usage, and in the sinker usage. And he really toned down the 4-seam fastball. It's not that the 4-seam fastball is bad, but it plays well off of the cutter. It plays well when he has a tight slider. When he can leverage the sinker and get it right on right and get bad swings or turn it over on guys that are expecting the 4-seam and hit the bottom of their barrel who can't make that adjustment. And so I think the change in pitch usage was probably the biggest thing that saw his second half results. Dropped his ERA under 4, dropped the home runs per 9 a bunch. WOBA against was down 55 points. So guys in general were just taking worse at bats. They were less successful. And I think that you'll probably see him take that into the season this year. Mix his pitches a little bit more, a little bit differently to find a little bit more longer-term success for a full 162.
Jack, when you've got your feet planted into the box against a guy who has 3 different types of fastballs and can truly locate all 3 of those different types of fastballs, how much more difficult is it for you to identify the pitch that you're looking for on a regular basis?
I think it's tough. The more pitches that you have that move different ways and are at different speeds, the harder it is, because hitting is all about timing. So it's not so much it's hard to recognize. It's just understanding when you do your homework before the game is understanding what he likes when he likes it and being able to look for that spot. The bottom line is he's got 3 different fastballs that move 3 different ways. You know, he's got the curveball, whatever. You're just hoping to bank on his tendencies and try to get the edge on trying to anticipate which one he's going to go with. You know, that's just a lot of movement to worry about, and I hope to not just be reactional until 2 strikes. You know, so I'm just going to go with whatever his bread and butter is in certain counts, and that's the best way to recognize it is to anticipate it.
And this for, like, you know, any young hitter who's listening, or, you know, it's not just doing your homework before the game. It's sitting on the bench and paying attention, right? If you're hitting in the 8-hole, watch the 7 guys who take an at bat before you. Talk to the other right-handed hitters if you're a right-handed hitter. What did you see? Did he throw the cutter in or did he throw it away? What did you get during these counts? What did he start you with? Second time around, notice if there are any noticeable changes. Have a plan. Understand that your learning period is when you're on deck, when you're on the bench, when you're getting ready to hit, not when you're in the box. So
and be that hitter that punches out and tells your teammates on the way back to the dugout, like, hey man, he's got a good cutter. Like, he got me there on the cutter. Like, hey, be aware. Hey, the umpire's giving him 3 inches. Like, be that guy that passes on that information to the next guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see the ball well out of the hand and swing and miss. Talk to guys and say, hey, I saw that well. The cutter comes out this way. Or, you know, hey, his release point is a little bit lower when he's throwing this pitch. If you see it down there, you know that's coming. Stuff like that it's important, right? Just because he got you out doesn't mean that, you know, he can always be successful against everybody else.
And everybody on your screen considers that fundamentals of baseball. I think that's a really important thing to be stated, right?
Yes.
We've lost a lot of those different things throughout time. I think guys playing on so many different teams is a really big reason why we have that. But that is a topic for another day. Jackson.
Guys sitting down and watching themselves hit over and over again.
Bullpen, great. And today the bullpen had some guys who were coming out of the bullpen. So thank you. Let's pop over to our way too early awards, this time featuring Jack Wilson's way too early awards as well. I love it. We're perfect. We'll make it easy. We'll give you the 4 spot this time, so you're going to bring all the runs home here where we start on the AL MVP. And I'm going to bring up a name that nobody has ever heard before. And I'm going with Jose Ramirez this year, guys. Jose Ramirez. I'm sure you haven't heard of him. I'm sure you don't realize how good he is, but I think it's J-Ram's time. And I'm as somebody who lived in Cleveland and was there for the start of his career, I can't wait to watch this guy finally hold that hardware over his head. If he has a 40-40-40 season, 40 home runs, 40 doubles, 40 stolen bases, which he almost did 2 years ago, I will not be surprised. I got J-Ram in the AL this year.
I am going
J-Ram.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Going with it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, never too late.
Guy.
Never too late.
I'm going with what feels like a fairly obvious pick, but I'm going to go with Bobby Witt Jr. I think the talent there is just too good. And I think that for him to find one, I also think that, you know, for as much as people want to feel like Aaron Judge will continue to have his name at the top of the list, voter fatigue is very real. If Bobby Witt comes in and does some very outlandish things, which he has the ability to do, I think he could run away with it, no problem.
Scud, who you got?
I originally had, we did this about a month or 2 ago, I had Julio. Ended up calling an audible at the line today. With what he did in the World Series, we're going Vlad Guerrero Jr. I have a feeling that the power numbers the past couple years have been good, not great. 23 last year, 30 the year before, 26 the year before that. I have a feeling we're going to get 35, 40 from Vladdy this year while hitting 300, 310, and just have one of those seasons that just like one of those just putting up godly numbers. I have a feeling that Vlad's going to do that this year. I think
like that pick.
he's got the protection around. I think it's going to be a AL MVP for him this year.
Jack, who's your guy?
Bobby
Oh.
Witt Jr.
Oh no!
Hey,
Hey, you know what? If I'm
Pound for pound, best player in baseball. Sorry.
yes,
Pound for pound. If I'm starting a baseball team, I'm starting with Bobby Witt Jr. Sorry.
absolutely.
Everything he does, elite defender, elite base runner, elite power, elite hitter. He had a down year last year and hit 290 with whatever. And that was considered a down year for him. The guy,
That's what we said last week. It's crazy.
yeah. No, this is that year for him where he finally, he was second place 2 years ago. In voting, I think that he, he's just going to get better. He's still 26, 27 years old, whatever he is. He's just going to get better.
yeah, he's still younger than me and Flax. Yeah, we know.
He's also just not going anywhere. Is he not?
Yeah.
He's not younger than you. Is he younger than you? No, you're definitely
No.
younger than him. What am I at? What am I to ask?
Me, yeah.
It's Bobby
Yeah, you're a
Witt's
young guy.
turn. It's
I'm
Bobby
gonna
Witt's turn, 7 years younger than Ramirez. I'm going with Bobby.
Oh, that's what we're.
He was, by the way, on a down year last year, he was 4th in MVP voting.
That's what I'm
which is
saying.
disgusting.
Like he didn't have the greatest first half. I think he ended at 270 something or 280. Probably the reason why Jacob won the fan vote and got in there because he just didn't have the normal numbers that he has. But if he doesn't, he's not going to have a slow start like he did. The guy's just so stinking good. The guy barely loads his hands. He has so much power. He's a freak. He's a
I
freak.
don't know why that had never crossed my mind that Jacob was the starter over Bobby Witt. He gets to hold that.
Well,
gets to hold that for
People,
ever.
yeah. People, well, they're boys. They're boys because they spent a lot of time together. Jacob was just picking his brain at the All-Star game. But I think
sure.
people like an underdog. They love a rookie. They love
Yeah.
a rookie that's doing a thing. So I think that helps with the voting. But yeah, he's, to me, the best player in the game because he just does all
no
facets.
question.
He's all facets. He's everything.
Let's move ourselves to the AL Cy Young vote. We're going to keep the same order, but I'm going to rotate one person down. So, Flax, you get to start us off on the AL Cy Young vote. Who do you got?
I swear, if I say the same one as you,
I was about to say
I
the same thing.
apologize.
There's no
I
chance.
apologize. I've got Hunter Brown from the Astros.
Ooh, nasty.
Yeah, the stuff is disgusting. And you know what's crazy? He almost feels established. Like, we don't talk about him enough. We just expect that he's going to come out and deal. And I think the AL Cy Young is a tough race. But if he has a full, healthy year, he's going to be that guy by the time we get to the All-Star break that people are sitting there saying, is anybody going to catch him? Yeah. Is anybody going to be as good as he's been every 5 days? So that's my guy. I think Hunter Brown's stuff is just disgusting. I think especially his ability in that ballpark to be as successful as he's already been, that shows that he has a lot of longevity in this league, I think.
I like it.
Who's
I like
next?
it a
Jackson?
lot.
Jackson's
Also,
next?
Jackson's next. The only thing I want to say, I always have to remind everybody, slow-mo Hunter Brown right next to Justin Verlander. It looks exactly the same. So, I don't know why anybody was questioning whether or not he was going to be that dude. Scud, who you got?
I've been on this for a while. I think I proclaimed this 2 months ago. It's Cole Reagan season. Let's let it happen.
I like that one.
2 years ago, 32 starts, his only fully healthy season, 3.14 ERA. Last year, 13 starts. You see the 4.67 ERA, you get a little scared. He struck out 98 guys in 61 innings last year and had a 2.67 expected ERA, 35% whiff rate. When this guy is healthy, he might have some of the best stuff in baseball, if not the best stuff. This is fully me banking on the health and the upside. Still 28 years old. Cole Reagan is going to have a healthy season this year, and he's going to strike out 250 guys and win the Cy Young Award.
Love it. Love it. Jack, follow it up.
Max Fried.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a
Max
great
Fried.
one.
Max Fried, 19-5 last year. No one talked about him. He's on a team that's going to win a lot of games. So I think the record comes into it. I think he had a sub-3 ERA, I think 2.86 last year. Just kind of following all the right. We have so many really good left-handed pitchers, especially in the American League, that he just kind of falls under the Scoobles. And obviously Reagan's one of those guys from a couple years ago when he was healthy. And we just forget how really, really good he is. Remember, he has the largest left-handed pitcher contract in the history of baseball. And
yes, he does.
People forget how good he is. And I think this is the year he goes 19-5, and it's like doesn't even touch Skubal. But I think this is the year where he can jump him. Because Skubal's going to be traded to a National League team at the break anyway, so he won't be ineligible. He'll be ineligible. So just a heads up.
That's what it. What did I say? I had last year.
Moment for me. I'm shot through the heart.
Last year I had Michael King, and I was banking on a Paul Skeens regression.
Nah,
did not happen. So you banking on a Tarek Skubal trade feels up the same alley.
So everybody has to remember too. Not only is Fried the highest paid lefty, but he put up those numbers last year in the first year of a contract, becoming the highest paid lefty, and in New York. He was great last year, and for some reason, didn't seem like anybody talked about him. No. I'm going to go with a shocker. Tarek Skubal, first guy to three-peat since Randy Johnson, 99 to 2002. I just, if there was ever a time for me to say a guy's going to three-peat, this feels like the right guy. And yes, Jack, you can give me a hard time.
No, I think he is. I think he's the best. I think he is, but I think he's getting traded. I think the dismay between
it's very realistic.
He's gonna, if he goes off again, he's gonna make $40 million in arbitration. So the Detroit Tigers can look at it and be like, I can get 7 dudes for this guy, and he goes to he goes to the Padres or he goes to the Dodgers or whatever, and he's ineligible for the Cy Young because he played in both leagues. So that's why he doesn't get it.
Yeah,
are those the rules?
You had so much tension in this contract on how they didn't want to pay him. If they didn't want to pay him then, they're not going to pay him now. They went out and paid. They slapped him in the face and they played Vander.
Fromber. Yeah, Fromber. They paid Fromber a lot.
Fromber. So it's like, okay, so they have their next lefty. They're going to be their guy. I think they move him. I think they move him and bring in the house.
So he could technically still win the National League Cy Young. He, however, will not. Because of
the National League one.
Yeah.
The National League.
It's true. National League Cy Young's a lot harder to win.
What if he was so nasty that he got traded, ended up winning both? The first guy ever.
Randy Johnson, like 97 or 98, got traded to the Astros mid-year. And I believe finished second or third in Cy Young voting with like a 1-something ERA. And then the other one that I think of, I believe Manny Ramirez in like 08. Got traded to the Dodgers mid-year and hit like 350 with 28 home runs with the Dodgers and finished like 4th in MVP voting with like 60 games.
It could have been CC too when he went from Cleveland.
That's what I would think you. There it is.
Yeah.
That was what I was going to say. I'm confirming.
I was not happy with that trade. I was not happy because I had to face him a bunch of times in the Central. It sucked. I was like, gosh dang it.
God.
He started 17 games that year in 2008 in the NL, and he was fifth in the Cy Young voting.
He was nasty in Milwaukee. When they brought him over, he was unhittable.
1.65 ERA.
What he did in a contract year, I've said this over and over again. I've said this over and over again that the reason he was a first ballot Hall of Famer was because of what he did in a contract year in Milwaukee after getting traded to just basically put that team on your back and throw more innings after the trade than you threw before the trade in one less start is insane.
Took him to the playoffs.
And to do it the way he did it and then go get the contract he did and continue being as good as he was. But yeah, that'll never happen again. Yeah. Nobody will ever do that. Nobody in a contract year will basically just keep running themselves out there.
Oh, and he can rake, by the way. So he's like,
yes,
naturally, give me that bat.
I thought he was. Scud, lead us off. AL Rookie of the Year.
I'm taking the cheat play, the guy who's already played pro ball for like 7 years, Munetaka Murakami. Signed the big deal with the White Sox this year.
Fun.
This is a guy he hits. Like, his lowest WRC plus in Japan over the past 5 years is like 150. I think there's a great chance. There is swing and miss concerns, absolutely, but I think he can come in and hit 20, 25, 30 homers right away with the White Sox. I think the White Sox also have enough protection around him. They have a really good young core of hitters that I think are going to do well around him. I like Murakami a lot this year to just kind of hit that baseline of what we think he can do. A guy who can hit maybe around the 230, 240 mark and still hit 25, 30 home runs this year and potentially be that Cy Young in a maybe weak class, but we'll see.
They've got a dead ball era going on too during his stint in the NPB where he broke multiple different home run records over there. So it's going to be really fun. The swing and miss will always be a concern when you bring over a big home run bat. He looked pretty comfortable so far. Jack, AL Rookie of the Year.
AL Rookie of the Year. Super dark horse is Rock Chalowski, gets drafted in June, and then gets right to the show, and then wins the. No,
I love that.
That would be amazing. I'm going with my guy, Team USA kid, Kevin McGonigal. I know there's a lot of talk about him, and people are really starting to get what he was last year. He made the fall league look stupid. He's had a really good spring training. I saw him as a junior when he was on our Team USA team. He won gold medal. He was our 2-hole hitter, the best left-handed young hitter I've ever seen. Incredibly intelligent. He's not going to have a problem making adjustments from game to game. I think the more at-bats he gets, the more comfortable he gets. I think they stick with – I don't know if he made the roster. I don't know if it's come out or not.
Not announced
They still haven't said yet.
Even if he doesn't, he's just so stinking good. And I love him to death. He's just a great human being. But he is one of the most impressive young players I've seen in my career as a coach. So I'm going with K-Mac, the wizard.
I love it.
Professor McGonagall.
We are going to remember that, and we will refer to him as that moving forward.
I'm sure he loves that.
I'm going with another little bit of a cheap shot here. Trey Savage. I think if he can do anything like what he did in the postseason last year for Toronto, he's going to have an opportunity to win himself an AL Rookie of the Year. That splitter was unbelievable. The slider was unbelievable. And he comes from the opposite weird slot of most guys, which is very far over the top. Really excited to see his stuff play here in 2026. The biggest thing going against him is MLB teams do actually have a lot of good video on him. So we'll see how he has adjusted as well over the offseason.
That, and I will say he's starting on the IL, which is always tough for pitchers because one of the big things for pitchers winning Rookie of the Year is that they throw a full season. A lot of times it's really hard for pitchers to win Rookie of the Year if they're not putting a full work in, just because you get hitters who will play a full season. My guy, shockingly enough, also Kevin McGonigal. This is unbelievable.
Relax.
I'll tell you what I like about him and why I think he'll succeed and why I don't think he's going to be one of those guys that has early struggles that he has to overcome. His swing mechanics are really fluid. They are early and on time, and he's ready to hit a fastball. He doesn't miss on fastballs. You're not going to blow 102 by him, even at the minor league level. And I think that the way that he swings the bat is really transferable. It's really quiet. It's really simple. And so I think once he gets into a big league uniform, whether it's opening day or a month later, you're going to see a guy that just all of a sudden becomes one of the best bats in the Tigers lineup. I also think that he is well protected in that lineup. Mm-hmm. As much as I would love a guy like a Connor Griffin to come up a month in and do what Nick Kurtz did and run away with it, I don't think that he has the same protection in the Pirates lineup that McGonigal has in the Tigers lineup to be comfortable hitting in the 6-7 hole and getting a lot of opportunity to put bat to barrel or ball to barrel on a lot of fastballs. So McGonigal is my guy.
Another thing that's going to be huge to his advantage is that's the size of his strike zone. He's not a big guy. He is tiny. Yeah. He's going to be the left-handed version of Altuve. He's a little bit taller than Altuve, but that is a small zone that you have to creep into, and he doesn't miss in that zone. So he's going to have a lot of walks because he doesn't leave the zone very much. You have to come to him in a very small pocket, and he's going to cover that pocket very well because you saw him early in spring training. His first spring training hit was a 101-mile-an-hour line drive to the opposite field over the shortstop's head. And I texted him right away. I was like, bro, you're ready. I'm sorry. You're ready. And then you saw the WBC. You saw our guy, our ace for the A's, challenged him first pitch in the game to warm up before. Sevy gave him first pitch here. He hit it freaking 420 feet to right center for a homer. Pimp job. Like I said, he doesn't miss heaters, and you're going to throw it in this little box. So he's going to be awesome. He's going to be awesome.
That would give me a lot of confidence. Even if I was, a top 3, top 2 overall prospect in baseball, but for like a guy who played big league baseball for a long time to just be like, you're ready.
You're ready.
It'll give me a lot of confidence because you have a good eye. You know what is and isn't ready for a big league field. You've seen it enough.
Yeah, if you're a young hitter in spring training, there's a lot of. I mean, you're number 83. You got a lot of heart pumping. This is the first big time deal, right? And you take a 94 mile an hour two seamer down and away, and you smoke it 100 miles an hour the other way. There's not much more you need to show me because that's hitting. That's somebody who understands how to hit. If you're a young guy and you're
not speeding
this
him
is
up.
what I saw with Kurtz last year. He wasn't pull happy. He stayed in the middle of the field. He used his hands. He recognized pitches. That's what you're seeing when you're looking at a young player. Like if they're ready, is how do they take pitches? Where's their body? Are they out in front? Are they jumpy? Are they trying to do too much? And when you just go, oh, you're going to throw it away, whack, and you're just like, all right, what's that? How do you pitch to a guy who can use the whole field? Because that's now a harder thing to do. You go in, he hits a homer to right. You go away, he hits a laser beam to left. That's when you know, all right, he's ready. He's ready.
I love it. Jack, hitting leadoff for the first time here. NL MVP as we move to the other side of the league.
This is a former MVP who I believe shouldn't have won the MVP, but won it anyways. But it's Shohei Ohtani. I did not agree with him winning the MVP when he went 50-50. I was off of that. I don't think you can be a full-time DH and win an MVP. I think you have to play both sides of the field to be an MVP. Because the bottom line is
we've talked about that a bit.
Yeah, because if you're 50-50, that is an amazing thing to do. Does Ken Griffey Jr. go 50-50 if he doesn't have to play center field every day?
It's true. Maybe.
In his prime, you're saying it's never been done before. If Mike Trout in his prime doesn't have to play outfield, stand out there in the outfield, can sit in the dugout, can take reps of swings in between his back, is he a 50-50 guy?
What's crazy is Mike Trout had MVPs taken away from him and wasn't awarded them when he should have been. And he was playing center field.
He won it. He should have. It's just my own personal preference. The guys that are standing on the field over and over for innings are going to have more wear and tear on their legs. Therefore, stolen bases are going to be something in August and December that are harder to do than a guy who's DHing. But to that being said, now he's pitching, so now I can give him, he's on both sides of the ball, I can give him it to him. Plus, the bottom line, if I was the Dodgers, I'd make him my closer anyways. I would never start him. 2 Tommy John surgeries, I'm making him my closer. He's the starting DH. He closes the game in the ninth. He pitches 3 times a week.
You and Scudder could not agree more.
Yeah,
that's what you do with him. It's the smart move.
He should be.
If he blows out again, he's got to get surgery. He's got 2 Tommy Johns. Just make him the closer in DH. Should have done that at the beginning after the first surgery. That's just me. That's my managerial.
No disagreements here.
That's my. I don't want him to start because I don't want him to get hurt.
I love it. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with a guy who I thought was disrespected this offseason. And that's Bryce Harper. I think he's mad. I think he's angry. And I think he's going to hit a lot of home runs this year. My only thing that worries me is that Bryce has a lot of weight on him because we know he takes a lot in with all the CBA stuff coming up, and he is a pretty loud voice for the players. So part of me worries that that's going to be in the back of his head a lot this year. At the same time, that's not a guy that you get on a press conference as a GM and say is not elite anymore. I think that's pretty rude. Didn't love that move by Dombrowski, and I think Bryce is going to have a year.
I like it. He's a future A, so I'm excited.
He's a future Vegas A.
He's going to make his. No,
I know.
You're right.
I don't think
he's
he's totally
back
wrong.
to Vegas.
He's from
When
Vegas,
his contract's
man.
up, he's going to
He's going to be like, where am I going to finish out my career? I'm going
At
home.
Love it. Flax, who you got?
I originally had Ohtani, but I wanted to change it up a little bit. I'm going to go with Juan Soto. I think that this is the year he finally breaks through. You're talking about a guy who, over his career, has been in the MVP conversation almost every year. He's been third twice. He's been second once. In my mind, this is the kind of guy who, relatively had a somewhat slow start last year. Had a 115 WRC plus in April, a 121 in May, and then took off and had a 225 in June. The dude is an elite hitter. We know this about him. I think this is just one of those years where he's going to actually get guys on base for when he... I think I did the math last year. I think he hit himself and only himself in for 2/3 of his RBIs at one
It was a
point.
lot.
At
There was nobody on base for him.
It was like September, and he, for 2/3 of his RBIs, were just solo home runs. Like, that can't be the case for a guy who wins an MVP. When you're going up against other guys who are going to hit, 45 bombs and probably drive in 100. I think this is the year where that offense takes its next step, and it helps propel him as a hitter to be that top dog in the NL.
Scud, finish it off.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani, 109 home runs over the last 2 years, and he also pitches. Next question.
Next question.
Disgusting.
I love it. I love it. NL Cy Young, I'm going to go with a little-known guy by the name of Paul Skeens. I don't really know what else to say at this point. He showed that somehow he's probably going to consistently sit under 2 for a very long time from an ERA perspective. And, oh, by the way, he actually has like a 9 to 12 pitch mix because of the way he manipulates the baseball, which is unfreaking real. When you can sit 101 if you want to, Paul Skeens is, I don't know. I'm just happy I'm alive for him pitching is where I'm at this point. Very excited to see what he does moving forward. Flax, you got a pretty good one here.
Yeah, I got Yamamoto. I think we're talking about the third best pitcher in all of baseball behind Skubal and Skeens. I think this is just another one of those years where he continues to ramp it up. When you look at it across the board, I think that there was a relative case for him to be a lot closer in the Cy Young conversation last year than he really ended up being. Christopher Sanchez took a lot of those excess votes because Sanchez was disgusting last year. But I think Yamamoto, he's thrown 173 innings. He's going out there every day. I think this year he's going to take that next step in the big leagues. And I think that the transition from MPB to Major League Baseball is, for him, a yearly progression. And I think I saw it in the WBC. And what I noticed was, when Venezuela in the first inning kind of went after his fastball, which he doesn't use in the zone a ton, he came out the next inning and said, I got it. I know what you're trying to do. I'm going to do something different now. And he executed on it and was disgusting the next 2 innings. And I think that for me, a guy who can manipulate what he's doing comfortably during a game, inning to inning, is the kind of guy who you call an ace and the kind of guy who relatively can go win a Cy Young any given year. He could just turn it up another notch and walk away with it. So I got Yamamoto.
I like it. Scud, where we at?
Another guy who's all offseason I've been singing his praises, that's Logan Webb. The most important thing a pitcher can do is actually pitch. Be out there on the mound and throw. Over the last 4 years, 192 innings, 216, 204, 207. We don't see that anymore. Finishes top 3 to 4 in Cy Young voting every single year. I think this is a year where he gets under that 3 ERA mark, has like a 2.9, gets his strikeout numbers a little bit better, gets the whiff numbers a little bit better, and finally gets the Cy Young that he so deserves. I mean, this is a guy, like I said, he's out there pitching every single day. We've all said it at some point today, if he's healthy, if he pitches, if he plays, Logan Webb pitches, Logan Webb plays. You know what you're going to get out of him. I think this is the year where he reaches that full ceiling and gets the Cy Young Award.
Love it. Jack, who you got?
Skeens.
It's an easy choice.
Just Paul.
He's Tiger Woods.
This guy.
He's Tiger Woods. When Tiger Woods was on his run, and the only one that can beat Tiger Woods is Tiger Woods. The only one. I mean, it's just the reason why he has all these pitches that he continues to look to get better. He's not satisfied. He goes out, wins the Rookie of the Year. He's the starting pitcher in the All-Star game. He wants to find more ways to get guys out, so he develops more pitches. He understands spin rate. He understands what the velo is saying. He understands what he wants to do and how he wants to make the ball move. He's playing wiffle ball with a Major League Baseball. And so what does that tell you? That tell you that he's not satisfied. He's always looking to get better. And if you're looking to get better from what he's done in the first 2 seasons, he's not sitting back in the offseason and be like, well, I'm good. I got Cy Young. I got Rookie of the Year. I got Livy. Life's good. I'm done. He's not. He's going out there finding new ways and talking to guys about grips and trying to find new ways to make hitters have to look for 9 or 10 different pitches. So when you have that thought process and you have that type of understanding and that drive in you to be that great, it is. And he's already that great, but it's not enough for him. It's going to be even more dominant this year. You're going to see he could possibly be a sub-1 ERA pitcher over the course of the year. Sub-1. And you're looking at it like crazy, but if you think about it, because here's the thing, he has unbelievable stuff.
But Jack, he regressed last year. He had a 1.96 the year before, and he had a 1.97 last year. What are we gonna do?
I know. He also has had to pitch absolutely perfect because he had no runs behind him. You have to pitch differently when you're trying to find wins with no run support. If the lineup goes out and gives him runs, he has a little bit more freedom to be a little more daring, a little bit more understanding of like, hey, I don't have to worry about walking this guy. I can try to pick a corner here because literally I have to throw up a freaking shutout for a chance to win. Just the way the offensive was. When you're freed up to be like, all right, now I can do things because I don't have to be perfect. All right, sub-1's a little much. I'm going to say sub 1.5.
I like it. No, but you know what?
think
You're
that's
absolutely
realistic.
correct, though. He's going to see more run support with that lineup that they're putting together this
hope.
year, as long as
That's the
people
goal.
stay healthy.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. But I definitely believe in it, and they've got a lot of players on that roster who are hair on fire guys. I'm so excited for the addition of Jake Mangum, but we'll leave that for a whole nother conversation. Flax, lead us off here in our final spot, NL Rookie of the Year.
Flax, take your time. It's our last chance. We match up 3. It's happening.
There's no way. With this pick that I just put out there, there's
All right,
almost
never
no
mind.
way.
Mine's obvious, so never mind. We're not going to make it.
Oh, mine's not obvious. I like Justin Crawford.
Ooh,
Justin Crawford
Team USA.
got added to the opening day roster in center field for the Phillies. Very fast. He's got the pedigree. He's got the comfortability being in a big league locker room because he knows what it's like. And I think that comfort is going to breed a really solid first year at the big league level. He's got the right people to lean on when things aren't going well to fix whatever is happening. You know, realistically, on most given years, to win Rookie of the Year, we're looking at a guy who needs to hit 260 and, you know, have a bunch of extra base hits. He's going to get a ton of hustle doubles. He's going to steal a bunch of bags. He hits the ball hard. He's going to do what is necessary. It's going to be a matter of whether or not somebody else steps up and takes it from him, in my opinion.
Here's my only caveat, which I hate, but this is always the way it works out. It is very, very difficult to win a Rookie of the Year with a playoff team. Because when a rookie struggles and you're not on a competing team, you can allow them to continue to struggle and figure it out because you have time. The Phillies are going to be a playoff team. If he struggles, they might have to say, we got to get somebody else out there because we can't have it. We got to win games.
True.
But if you look at it, Paul Skeens, Pittsburgh, you look at Nick Kurtz, those guys have leashes that are really long because they're not expected to win. So the problem is when you have young rookies, if you're not a team that is going to be that are expected to make it to a playoff run, you have a much longer leash when you struggle and you go for that rookie rut than you would when you're on a team, say the Yankees or the Red Sox or the Phillies, where every win is a big deal. So I love Crawford because he was with USA, and I think you're exactly right on what he's going to be, and I hope he has this year. I just the leashes are smaller.
Yeah, think about that.
The leashes are smaller.
That's true.
It sucks. But those managers they panic because like they go through a stretch and they're like, gosh dang, I got a veteran on the bench right now. The kid needs a breather, you know, and the veteran goes out and does his thing. The kid gets kind of shelved a little bit. You know what I mean? It just happens.
Father Time is coming after that entire Phillies roster.
For sure.
Including the manager.
Yeah.
Scud.
I don't mean that in a mean way. It just is what it is.
I think he's great, and I think he has a really huge future because I think he's a better version of his father, and his father was a stud.
That's what we said. Yeah. Jackson, who do you got?
This one's easy for me. Die-hard Cardinals fan. Grew up my entire life as a Cardinals fan. It's the man. It's JJ Weatherford season. Officially announced on the roster.
It's the number one baseball unstitched prospect in baseball.
I've officially announced on the roster. I believe today was officially announced for the opening day roster. Probably second base is the guess. Second or third, Mason wins the shortstop.
Yep.
I mean, this Cardinals have not seen a prospect like this in a long time. We've had a bunch of highly touted prospects recently who've struggled towards the top end of their minor leagues and then kind of limp into the big leagues and struggle. Weatherholt in AAA last year over 47 games hit 314, 416, 562, 15% K rate, 13% walk rate, 10 homers, 9 stolen bases. He doesn't chase, he doesn't whiff. His eye is incredible, great pop, steals bases. I don't think I've been more excited for a Cardinals prospect in my entire life. I'm fired up to watch this guy play this year. I think he's the future for the Cardinals. I think he's going to have a big year this year and win Rookie of the Year.
Jack, it sounds like you might agree.
A little bit, yeah. He said until Scud said biggest prospect in the Cardinals, but there was a guy named Albert Pujols that came in like early 2000s, and he was their.
I wasn't alive yet.
Stop. None of us need to hear that.
All right,
Come on.
I wasn't alive yet.
Come on.
I hear you.
Is that your pick, Jack?
Am I freezing up on you guys? I think I'm freezing on this side. I apologize.
We can hear you.
Yeah, we
So
got
you're
you.
all good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm gonna tell you a little tale. We're gonna go back to 2010, and we're gonna visit Mars, Pennsylvania. Actually, you know what? This is gonna be 2008, and we're gonna go to Mars Little League, and we're gonna go watch a 6-year-old Jacob Wilson. I don't know if you guys can see that. Is that too bright?
We might be able to once we render this. So we'll tell you.
Okay.
That's a good try. We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, you're going to see this is a team photo, and you're going to see number 2 Wilson and number 3 Weatherholt on the same team at 6 years old.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's
So-
incredible.
My pick is going to be J.J. Weatherholt of Mars, Pennsylvania Little League.
I need him to
Yeah.
say that like it's Sunday Night Football. JJ Weatherholt, Mars Little League, or Mars PA Little League.
Mars Little League, Mars PA Little League, number 3.
That's crazy, man.
Yep, they were on the same team.
Did
That's
you coach
amazing.
that team?
No, I was playing. We lived in Mars, so I was playing. This was summer, spring, summer.
Yeah,
of my
right, you would've still been
season in
playing.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, so this is a picture that my wife had took at their first practice, and didn't think anything
Oh
of
my
it
God.
until JJ's dad sent this picture to Jonathan Mayo. I think he's with MLB or ESPN. I think he's with MLB.
Yeah.
He sent it to me, and he's like, "Check this out," and it was him and Jake on the same team. And apparently, Jacob forgot his hat.
That's
day
crazy.
because, he didn't have a hat during practice, so I don't know what happened there. He's got nice
That's
cleats,
an
though.
optional at that age.
Yeah, no doubt.
I
I'll
bet.
send you that picture though. You guys can check it out.
We would love to. I'll wrap us up here. I'm going with Manny Machado's understudy, Sal Stewart. This dude rakes.
yeah.
Sal Stewart rakes. I just if there's a guy who could do it, I'm kind of about it at this point. Everything that we've seen out of him is he hits the ball hard, and he has the old school mentality that a lot of people don't love. What's he trying to do every time? Hit a hard line drive right above the pitcher's head every single time. He hits home runs. They're quote-unquote mishits. I know everybody doesn't love that getting stated nowadays now that we have more data and whatnot. At the same time, it is a feel thing and a process. I think Sal Stewart really, really knows how to hit, and I'm excited to see what he does this year. He could very, very easily be a 30-plus home run guy in his first full big league season. By the way, Great American Ballpark, kind of a cool place to hit, so I've been told, and he plays there for 82 games a year.
Yes, he is.
Hitter's
Yeah.
ballpark.
Just a little bit. All right, guys. Really nice round there of the Way Too Early Awards. We're thinking that we're going to do a little bit better in 2026 than we did in 2025. Jackson's laughing because, we didn't do as well as we wanted to.
We did not
last
do
year,
well.
but
Yeah, we
that's
were wrong.
okay. Leave that in the past. I like where we're going here. But we've got everybody on the pod today. We'll go around real quick. Jackson, I want to just start with you. You got any final thoughts for us today?
I mean, it's college baseball season. This is my final thoughts every single time. If you're a baseball fan, for the love of everything, watch college baseball. College baseball is the most fun thing around. ETSU this weekend won our first conference series. Our starting first baseman, Tristan Curlis, had 8 hits and then threw 2 innings and got the save on Sunday. College baseball is incredible. We had the little pitching coach walk up to the mound and brought his pitching glove with him to make the switch mid-inning. He went from first base to the pitcher's about mid-inning. College baseball is incredible.
Did you have a kid come off the bench to go to first base?
No, our right fielder went to first base, and then we threw a guy in right field.
Gotcha. I love that.
We threw a guy in right field. Threw 2 innings of shutout ball, had 8 hits, won Conference Player of the Week.
Heck yeah, baby.
Two-way player will always be alive in college baseball, and that alone makes it worth your time. Jack, you got any final thoughts this week, man?
Oh, man, just excited for everything to get started and just enjoying the season with this CBA thing lingering. Hopefully sides come together and shake hands and understand it's the best for everybody that we continue to play baseball, and hoping that this isn't the season before not having a season. So, but if it is, let's just enjoy it. Let's just love on baseball and just dive into our players, dive into our teams, dive into the city. So that's what I hope for everybody.
Love it.
I love that.
Flax, what you thinking?
What am I thinking? I'm thinking about the number 1 team in the country in Division III baseball, the Denison Big Red, who won 10 games in their last 11 days on their spring break trip, went out west, beat up on some teams in Oregon, went to Chicago, beat up on some teams in Chicago. But yeah, sitting 14-1 right now. Head coach, I believe, is somewhere around 9 to 10 games away from 400 career. But yeah, number 1 team in the country on a 13-game winning streak. I do not necessarily see it coming to an end anytime soon. They're playing good baseball.
Heck yeah. Go Big Red, man. We got to always make sure they get their shout out. I'm going to go with the easiest one ever. I get to be on a mound next weekend, and I pity the guy who has to step up in front of me. I get to go back to psychopath mode. Flax knows, kind of hates it a little bit, but I automatically become a serial killer the moment I get an opportunity to start a game. And frankly, I'm ready. So in the words of Mr. T, I pity the fool. Moving right along here, though, guys, thank you so much. Jack, we appreciate you being on the podcast and being another co-host. Jackson, it's always fun to have you longer than just for the bullpen. Flax, we appreciate you as always. But guys, if you didn't know this, Flax is always making sure that the socials are chock full for you. Make sure you take a moment, follow us on X, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, wherever you ingest content. Make sure to follow Jack Wilson too, by the way. Kind of a cool guy. That's why we have him around all the time, guys. It's just what it is. So past that, share the podcast with your friends. We hope you enjoyed this week's Spotify, Apple, and YouTube as always. But we leave you where we leave you. Have a great week.